Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another investing live stream. Today, we have a few announcements that I want to start with, and some are going to be very special and particular to all of you. Here's the thing. I started this particular channel, let's see, on, here, let me screen share it with you. This is where you want to go, in our Discord channel. You want to go over here, jump on over to Why Are You Not Starting? And this channel is going to become very, very special here very soon. People have been posting for about 2 months there. I haven't done anything with it yet, but now we are going to start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start going through that list and kind of picking people's scenarios, and I'm gonna make videos about them and sort of give specialized advice to what I would do if I was in somebody's situation. Now, some of these we might throw them on the courses alive. Some of them we might put on YouTube. It really doesn't matter. Happy to not mention your name or mention your name, whatever you'd prefer. But the most important thing I want you to know is I really want to try to figure out what exactly is keeping every single person from actually getting started in investing. I had somebody yesterday tell me that they were interested in possibly buying a $42,000 how to flip course. And I almost vomited because A, it ain't that freaking hard, and B, there's no way it should be that expensive because, oh my gosh, I mean, I feel like a newbie flipper would lose their profit on like 2 or 3 deals just to that. And finding the deals is really the hardest part. So know that I can help you here with flipping too, okay? I do a lot of flipping, and it's not for the faint of heart. It's a very, very cutthroat business. So I never want to demotivate, okay? If you find a good deal, you can flip it, but oftentimes I like keeping my flips. I fall in love with them. But anyway, the point of what I'm trying to say is I really want to encourage you to go onto that channel. Why are you not investing? Go onto that channel, post your scenario. Here's another thing that you should also consider if you have not yet, super important announcement here, is make sure that you do check out, if you have not yet, go to our Teachable website and see what I'm gonna be in your area. Take a look at this. For course members, it's $100 less. Look at this, I'm gonna share the screen here for a second. You'll see that obviously we have the real estate investing course, we have the real estate agent course here, but then take a look here. We'll be in, I'll specifically, will be in New York, Chicago, Seattle, Austin, Jacksonville, San Fran, Charlotte, Atlanta, Nashville, and Philadelphia. And I think we've got 2 or 3 more locations that we're announcing. All over the next 13 months, my goal is just to go to these different cities and meet, ideally, with course members. That's why there's a $100 discount if you're a course member, to help you in person. It's not one of those opportunities to like webinar sell you on some $1,000 program or whatever. I maybe selfishly just want to travel and B, figure, well, while I'm traveling, why not help course members? So that's really my thought. I thought I could dedicate a day and really sit down with everybody that comes, whether it's a group of 5 or a group of 50, I don't care. I'll have a whole curriculum set, and it'll be all about helping you overcome what you need to overcome to get to that next level, to pull the trigger. So some great opportunities for you folks there. Now, so that said, we're gonna jump into some questions and input here. We'll talk about your questions here in the live as well. In fact, I'll start with a couple of your live questions here. We've got a question here from Keegan. We've got, would it be a good idea to get an appraisal done before going to a bank about a refinance? No, unfortunately, it would be a bad idea. I'm about to be on the refinance process for a duplex. Okay, so here's the thing. When lenders do a loan with you, they have to be the ones that place the appraisal order. The appraisal has to be assigned to the specific loan number. So in other words, what I'm saying is, if you got yourself an appraisal and then you got a loan, the lender will be like, oh, that's cool, you got that appraisal, but we have to order another one. Now you're double paying for an appraisal. So talk to a lender first before you do anything like that. Phoenix? I don't know. Stay tuned for the 3 within the next week. We're finalizing, actually probably within the next few days, we'll reveal the next 3 locations. Right now, I think it's probably going to be, it's a toss-up right now between Orlando, DC, Boston, and New Orleans. Phoenix, maybe. So there's a toss up. So stay tuned. But there will be. There might also be an LA one. So from Phoenix, you guys could drive over. Okay, cool. So which is surprising. You'd think there would guaranteed be one from LA, but I don't really like LA. So yeah. Anyway, any input on how to save money at closing? Specific title to title and attorney fees. Yeah. So look. And then we're going to get into our Discord questions here. Here's the thing, you don't want to go through your closing statement and try to look at the closing statement and think to myself, okay, what can I do to grind down on these fees? Usually not much. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe you could save $100 here, $150 there, get them to remove or waive some like doc prep fees or things like that. So yes, you could do that. You could ask them like, hey, I'm really strapped. Is there any way we could waive like the doc prep fee or some of this other the junk fee stuff they put in? Usually it's very, they've made it pretty difficult in that industry, especially when you're with big companies like Fidelity. They have a whole lot less latitude. So usually, what I usually recommend is try to analyze what's going on. Oh, that reminds me. I got to look this up. I'll tell you about this. Try to analyze what's going on in your actual deals to see, can you lock a little bit of a higher interest rate and that way have more cash in your pockets? Remember, we've got lectures about that. Now, I'm actually we just started another purchase, which I'm excited to share with everybody, about soon. I'm looking at what interest rates are doing right now because we have to lock, and you guys should all. I knew it. I knew they would tick up today. Oh, I literally knew it. I told myself yesterday. I'm like, should I lock the rate yesterday, or are they gonna go up or down today? And literally, let's see if it'll ever focus on that. Yeah. There you go. So, see that uptick right there at the end. That is what I lost out on. I should have locked there where I had the inclination. I always, it happens to me every time. I'm like, should I wait? Every time I gamble, I lose. Don't gamble. Don't do it. Just lock your rate. So dumb. I mean, honestly, that's going to make, like, no difference. It's such a small movement. But I think just psychologically, I'm like, yep. Just goes to show again, should have done it my way. Okay, cool. So let's hit some Discord questions here. So the first thing I want to start with, so we talked about the announcement on the channel videos. We talked about the tour. I highly encourage you to check out these locations. Email me for that $100 off coupon. Since you're all course members here, you should all really consider meeting me at one of these places. I'm going to learn so much. It's going to tie this all together. So now we're going to hop on over to some questions that we have in the Discord. Specifically, we have some scenarios that I think you guys would find very interesting. Let's see, we're going to jump to general chat. Okay, here we go. I really liked the idea of starting with this one. So check this out. The question here is, would you recommend, if I'm shopping in the 150 to 250K range for my first place, a small condo in a real nice area or single family house in a less desirable area, the goal would be to leave after a year or two and rent it to buy another as you preach. You've talked a little about condos before, but I'm curious to hear if you think it would be a bad idea because they don't appreciate as much due to not owning the land. At least that's what I've been told. Okay, here we go. Let me just straight up say this very, very clearly here. Condos appreciate the same as other properties in your marketplace. Let's let that soak in for a second, okay? Here's how it works. All right. Let's say we have, let's say we have a specific county, okay? This drawing right here is a county. If this is a bad area, this is bad, and this is a better area, yes, this better area is going to appreciate faster and better and more rapidly than the bad area. The bad area may catch up when it gentrifies or whatever it takes to make a bad area good. There's not making any kind of commentary here as to what would make it good or bad. Just saying, this is the good area will appreciate better. But now, what's interesting is within any kind of particular area, what do you have? You have classes. You have classes of property. You have land. You have single-family dwellings. You have condos. You have townhomes. You have flats. you have co-ops, all that stuff. It doesn't matter. It's all on the same up and down ride. It does not matter what it is. It goes up or down together. Another analogy would be, which I think I have a lecture about this, another analogy is kind of like the hand analogy. So let's say you have like low-end condos, and then you have townhomes, and then you have single family, and then you have the high-end. It all goes up and down together. Now, they might like wobble and wiggle in between each other. That's kind of like, oh, condo prices are going up. Oh, okay, well now that condo prices went up, now townhouse prices are going up. Now single family's going up. Now like luxury is going up. But it all overall moves together with like these slight little variations, but they never crisscross over. So it's not like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, all these single families and like you get this massive deviation between the two. You just don't see that. So, I think that is honestly... I hear that very frequently, and I think it's just something that gets perpetuated because of the hate for association dues. And this is where I have to give you a flip side argument really quickly about possibly where that idea came from. Watch this. If you own, this is interesting. I should talk about this more often. If you own a $400,000 condo, let's say $400,000 condo, and let's say the association dues on that are $400 a month. Well, if you didn't have that association fee, you might be able to afford, let's say, a $460,000 house. So let's say you have a $460,000 house versus a $400,000 condo. And so what do you have now? Well, now if the market appreciates 10%, which keep in mind, the reason you have this difference in price is because the payment would roughly be the same. $400K condo with $400 in association dues is roughly the same payment as a $460,000 house with 0 in association dues. But so where does that appreciation argument come from? Well, if both of these appreciate 10%, they still went up 10%, but 10% just happens to represent $40,000 here, and here it represents $46,000. So you kind of see here how that argument maybe arrives, but the way you worded it, and it's not your fault, it's the way that some other people and other communities talk about appreciation about condos, and I think it stems from a good place, but it's a wrong conclusion. So hopefully that helps you. Okay, cool. So now, as far as the question, okay, so now probably more to the bottom line of that. The bottom line of that is, you're looking to buy between 150 to 250K, and you have the choice between a small condo in a really nice area or a single family in basically a crappy area, is what you pretty much told me. Do not go for the crappy area. Do not live somewhere you're going to be miserable. And even if you think to yourself, well, I'll just be miserable living here for a year and then I'll rent it out so somebody else can be miserable. Why would you want that? It's harder. Look, what I always say is you want to own property you would personally live in. Why? Because if you would live there, the odds are you can relate to the tenant, not saying you ever want them to know you're the property manager. But when you rent to people that are relatable, surprise, surprise, it's easier to screen them. You see how we're going deep here, right? It's easier to screen them. It's easier to qualify them. It's easier to figure out other people's motivations. And oftentimes, if people are like you, and at least you feel like they're like you, they're possibly less likely to screw you, right? It's when you have, here's pompous, rich landlord that has his cigar on his lazy boy versus the contrast of really hardworking, person at just starting out their career at Walmart or whatever. Not saying there's anything wrong with working at Walmart. I always told myself I would start as a bagger and work my way up to CEO of Walmart. I never started working there, but that was always my dream when I was a child. Anyway, when you have that massive disparity, it's always like that. It becomes that us versus them, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't think you should go buy cheaper stuff just because it's cheaper. I think you're better off buying where you would want to live, and always buy it to where you're getting a good deal. You know, I'm gonna post this. It's stuff we've talked about in this course a lot in the lectures. But let me just give you a really quick thing, a preview. Watch for this video. I'm doing a clarification video on the video that I made on YouTube about cheap houses, because I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. I'm not anti-cheap houses. I'm all for you guys getting good deals and you know, getting good cash flows on cheap houses. But something I talked about in the video was there are 3 aspects to real estate. And we talk about this in the course all the time in the lectures, but just a quick reminder here. There are 3 aspects to making money in real estate. Everybody always talks about one. What is the one aspect that everybody always talks about when it comes to real estate? Cash flow. It's always cash flow. But which is fine. Cash flow is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. I love cash flow too. But the bottom line is cash flow is always balanced out by appreciation, which is sort of your yin and yang. So, for example, you know, in one area you might see 7% cash flow and 3% appreciation, and you might see the vice versa. But there's the third thing that's much more important than cash flow and appreciation. The third thing that's most important is how good of a deal you're getting. That is, like, if you take this whole whiteboard and push it down, how good of a deal below market value are you getting? And so that's where I would encourage you to find a high quality area to invest in that area, and find yourself a wedge deal within that market. That is the best thing that I could recommend for you, Newgard. So now Rex replied that, you know, there are obviously pros and cons to homeowners associations, and, you know, the HOA, you know, you could run into some issues with HOAs that don't properly maintain a place as they should. And this is true. Finding a quality association is probably the hardest part. Rex and I agree that the condo is a better choice in a decent area versus the less desirable because of the type of tenant. Perfect. Great. Good line there. Okay, perfect. Great. So great conversation there. Awesome. Love seeing these Discord chats. Now, let's go on over to a question we had in financing about renovations. This is a good one for all of us to consider, and it's followed up by Queen asking another good question here. So let's see here. You know, whatever. I'm just going to say it because I don't remember exactly where it is. I'm not going to waste the time. Here's the bottom line. Brandon in our Discord asked, should you finance renovations or should you pay out of pocket? Here's the ultimate answer to whether or not you should finance or you should pay out of pocket. The ultimate answer is twofolded. What is your income and what is your cash reserve? If you have 50 grand sitting in the bank that you're not doing anything with, don't finance your renovations. Don't try to get the hero loans, the contractor special financing, the 1 year no interest crap. Why? Because all of that stuff with the 1 year no interest and this and that and all these special things, keep in mind they include fees, big fees. They usually bury the fees into the actual cost of whatever you're financing. So if you have the cash, great. If you don't have the cash, the second part of the question is, do you have the income to substantiate the continued payments? If you're like, I've got so much income, I'm ballin', then it don't freaking matter if you finance some more as long as your income is stable. But if your income is where you're like, you know, I definitely still have to be at my job every day, then maybe more financing is a bad idea. And maybe the best answer out of all 3 of these scenarios is maybe you should renovate less. In fact, we're going to do an example here in about 1 minute about how maybe you should not be thinking about renovating too much. I'll give you a couple examples on that. Really good idea for you. Or good ideas for you. So keep that in mind. I'll give one little quick example. My father-in-law financed 20 solar panels, 1 year as good as cash, no interest. So he financed the entire solar panel purchase, and he ended up paying about $24,000, and he financed the entire set. I got the same 20 panels, but when the guy came to my house, I said, hey, what's the cash price? And he's like, oh, and he reaches into a bag and pulls out another piece of paper and goes, well, if you're going to pay cash and you're not going to take advantage of the 1 year no interest, well, then it's this price. And surprise, surprise, it was $1,500 less. And I'm like, oh, thanks, father-in-law, 1 year no interest. Yeah, but you just paid $1,500 and you didn't even know about it. So keep that in mind when you're financing. Okay, so now, renovation question. This is important, very important for all of us to remember. Let me start with a personal example, and I really want all of you to take this one thing away from this lecture here. You have to, when you get into owning real estate, think simple. Think, what can you do to not overspend? Let me give you this little dilemma I just had. We just opened escrow on this property. It has galvanized pipes. It was built in 1961. Galvanized pipes are known to have about a 50-year life expectancy. They start corroding on the inside, they start rusting, they start doing what's called cancering, and then they end up springing leaks. Fortunately, on galvanized pipes, those leaks tend to be relatively small, but it happens. So, the question that I had for this rental property was, should I replace all of the plumbing with PEX plumbing? That would cost me about $6,600 plus whatever damage they caused to the drywall. Or should I leave the galvanized? So that was my dilemma. Pay $6,600 to do the PEX or just leave the galvanized. So what did I do? I went to the property, I tested all the fixtures, I tested the flow, no rusty water came out, and the flow was fine. I look at it and I go, there's a good chance, and I could be wrong, who knows, maybe it'll leak and then I'll have to fix it, oh well, but a tenant will be in the property, so I'll hear about it. I have to evaluate, should I replace these galvanized pipes now or do the PEX? And I think to myself, you know what, there's a good chance these galvanized pipes could last completely fine without leaks for another 10 to 20 years. Why would I spend $6,600 now if I can milk another 10 to 20 years out of the galvanized? So we're keeping the galvanized. Here's the other benefit about the galvanized pipes. This is an extreme one right here. Like, just run this one by your mind for a second. Remember how I said the galvanized might show a sign of leaking once it starts cancering and then breaks or whatever? Here's the interesting thing about original galvanized pipes. They're plumbed through the concrete slab and then they come up through the wall. Unlike if we repiped, we'd have the PEX pipes overhead. So if you have pipes overhead and they leak, everything below it gets destroyed. Bad day. You have pipes in the ground, it's like, oh, there's some moisture happening here. We got ourselves a slab leak. No problem. Easier to deal with. Less chance of mold. I got vinyl plank flooring anyway. We could just take the planks off and put them back down, right? That's why you go with the luxury vinyl plank. So little ideas there on something that I'm actually dealing with right now in terms of galvanized versus doing the PEX repipe. Hopefully y'all help, or that helps y'all and you appreciate that. Now, that brings up the question that we have in our Discord chat, and the question that we had was, how much, yeah, I gotta get back to that one. Okay, here, let me share the screen with you on this. Here is a deal that we analyzed last week, and the question from our group is, should we try to add a bathroom to this deal? So take a look at these pictures here. I don't think our course member is in escrow yet, given that it still says active, in which case I highly recommend you write an offer, because I think we thought it was a good deal, but go back to that live stream. Anyway, so the thoughts were, painting the cabinets. I know there was a consideration of replacing these countertops, but honestly, they're fine. I wouldn't replace them. Who cares? White on black, it'll look fine. If you want to paint the cabinets, you'll be fine with the countertops. There's no sense in you going in there and spending $3,000 to replace granite countertops with another stone countertop. I don't even care if it's quartz, because guess what? Your net benefit is like negative, because you're going to spend so much money fixing the drywall, getting that off. What if you damage the cabinets? I don't know. I don't like the idea of doing that. The other thing I don't like the idea of doing, you can kind of see how I'm a little bit conservative in terms of like, let's spend less. So watch this. The other thing here is there's a consideration to try to add a bathroom, because see here where my mouse is, you have the master bathroom. This is the vanity. And then this is the main bathroom, which is also accessible from the hallway. And so the master actually does not have a tub or shower. The hall bath does, and those are shared. And so there was a debate as to whether or not this should be done. You know, Mark correctly pointed out in our chat that you would have more tenant longevity if you had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property versus a 3-bedroom, 1-bath property. This is true. Technically, right here, you have a 3-bedroom, 1.5-bath, or I guess it would be 1.25 because you only have one toilet. Yeah, all right, whatever. 1.25 bath, tiny. But anyway, the big thing here is I want to show you this floor plan. And so we look at this floor plan, we know it's a condo. The thought is, do we add another bathroom? First of all, we have to realize that this is actually not really a 3-bedroom. It is actually a bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bonus room over here, which no matter what, this bonus room would be a mile away from these bathrooms anyway. So the functional difference in this case of having another tub shower over here is pretty small. In addition to that, and this is probably the biggest thing that you should already be taking away from all of this, is why? If it rents for this, why would you over improve it? Why go through the effort? Why go through the hassle? Why go through the stress of trying to reinvent the wheel when you want to get into real estate? And that's possibly why you haven't written an offer yet. When you're trying to get into real estate, the key is get in. Get a good deal. Find something that makes sense the way it is. Do as little as possible to it and get in. In fact, so much so that this other property that we're buying right now, has anybody ever heard of paraffin wax? A bar of paraffin wax? Check this out. I'll screen share this with you. Look at this. See this stuff? This is called paraffin wax right here. You could literally take a bar of this and rub it against old wood windows, wood sash windows, and make them operate like 4 times as good as they used to. So it is a way to restore these old windows that most people are like, I have to replace all the windows. You know, I look at that and I go, how much more rent am I going to get if I spend $6,000 replacing all the windows? Look, never do I suggest is it okay to be, you know, I'm going to use the word. You don't want to be a slumlord, right? You don't want to have everything be like cheap crap and look like crap. I like nice, but cost effective. The tenant ain't gonna know that it's galvanized plumbing, and if the window's open and shut, I don't really care about trying to save the tenant's utility bill a little bit. They're not gonna pay me more rent, so it's their problem. I ain't replacing the windows. A little, like, simplify your life. You know, do the cosmetic renovations, do the flooring, the paint, the hardware, the faucets, make things look nice. Do things correctly and safely, but get started. That's a big key. All right, let's move on here. So, and I'll answer some questions in live as well. Oh yeah, another question that came up was, what kind of vinyl plank flooring do I recommend? Well, I happen to have found one that I am completely in love with just recently here. Let's screen share and show it to you. Here it is, folks. Boom. This stuff right here. Love it. Was super excited by this. And let's see, do I have the receipt for it? I had it. So let's see here. What I want to show you is, this is, and you should watch the lecture on how to hack Lowe's for Pros pricing. But notice that I'm on Lowe's for Pros and not Lowe's.com. So is that what I paid for it? Let me see if there's any difference. Sometimes the pricing goes up and down and there's no difference, but I know when I bought these, I feel like these were like $3. Yeah, these were $3 a foot on Lowe's. Okay, so not the best example right now, but this is the flooring I want. This is the flooring I love to buy. And back when I bought this, they were running a contractor special, and I was able to get this flooring for like $2.19 per square foot, which is insane because you look at it, it's $2.48 now. It was listed at like $3 over here, and they had a contractor special, which anybody could sign up for this, lowesforpros.com, and I ended up getting this for like $2.19. It was a total rob. I would still pay $2.48 for it. I really like this flooring. Let me put me up on screen here. There. This flooring, I thought, let's see if did the pictures do it justice. Yeah, the pictures did it justice. We probably spent like 2 weeks trying to find the best possible flooring that would kind of be as future-proof as possible and that we could get, the most bang for our buck out of. I'm trying to find a picture that's pretty representative. A lot of these pictures are very deceiving. It's not as streaky as this picture. We were very concerned that whatever floor we would get would look too streaky. You get that a lot with these vinyl planks. And this one wasn't. It actually looked very, very good. You can see here it doesn't look that streaky when you look at it up close, but it also doesn't look that dark when you actually put it down. So I usually recommend getting samples for stuff like this, and then just buy a box and put out 10 pieces, and then you really get a good idea as to what's going on. It's also cool if you haven't done this before, you could check to see what the store inventory is. And so what I actually did is I needed about... What did I need? I think I needed 80 boxes. And the Ventura location, which now stocked up and has 144, didn't have that many. So I ended up going to Simi Valley, placing the order here, and getting shipping for $20 because as a Lowe's for Pros member, the shipping isn't $80, it's $20, and then you get it delivered to your driveway for $20. And I'm like, I'm not picking up 80 boxes to save $20. F that. Look, in old school days, before I knew all the tricks, I'd be the kind of person that would buy or rent a U-Haul. And I would U-Haul and go pick up all the stuff. I don't do that anymore. So what other questions? I posted it on deal analysis. So Chaz, you got a question on deal analysis. Let's we'll definitely get to it. Let's see, Chaz. Oh, you're next. Chaz, you are next. You posted it Thursday at 1:56 p.m. after our last live stream. Unfortunately, that's like the absolute worst time to post because it's Thursday, which is kind of like my Friday for the real estate investing course. This stuff takes a lot of work. Filming all these lectures and like doing this, the live streams 4 times a week, it's a lot of work, but I'm happy to do it. I enjoy it. So we will get to that. Let me answer a couple live questions here. Yeah, catching up, carving up. Okay, Frank's got a good question. Do I always pull permits, or have you ever had issues when selling? Well, here's the thing. If I'm going to sell a property, I always pull permits. If it's a rental, I try to pull permits every time I can, but there are times I don't. The only reason I say that is because if I have, let's say, a rental property that I buy and they've done some unpermitted work, and we have lectures on this about the fork, and I'm going to do a quick little renovation on it, like just some cosmetic stuff, I'm not going to, poke the bear and wake up the city and get them involved here. I just do my quick little renovation, move on. It's not the correct way to do it. I get licensed contractors with insurance and bonding and stuff to do this stuff. But usually, like this project we're working on right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull permits on everything because A, it's the correct thing to do. I'm a big believer in doing the right thing. Only when it's punitive do I get really pissed off. Like, here's something that just absolutely 100% massively pisses me off about permits is if you have like an original shower and it's a small bathroom and the toilet is next to the original shower, the city will make you have the center of the toilet be 15 inches away from the shower. Well, most of the time, these old toilets are only like 6 inches away from the shower. So now you have to shorten the size of your vanity or go to a dumb pedestal sink, jackhammer up the concrete, move the toilet, which is now going to cause damage from all the rusty cast iron work that you have to move, the galvanized plumbing you have to move, and pretty much just because some bureaucrat said the toilet has to be 15 inches away from the shower instead of 6 inches away from the shower, do you now have to spend $1,500 extra moving a dumb freaking toilet and taking away the functionality of a vanity? That kind of stuff absolutely destroys me on the inside. And so, there are cases like that. I have like this moral obligation to fight. So that's just a little rant on that. All right. Okay, cool. So let's do, now we owe some deal analysis. So Chad's next. Let's do Chaz here. Chaz, not Chad. And then we'll do deal analysis escrows. Okay, let's see what we got here. So let's read this together. There we go. And then I could cheat a sip of this coffee here. My wife and I got married in October. Started a 1-year lease. Okay, so you're almost up. Since things were getting nuts, we rented. So boom, 30K for 1 year down the drain. Don't hurt. Don't kill yourself. It's okay. Like, don't worry. It's fine. Today I was speaking with a friend who was coaching me about real estate investing, and he thought there might be a way to make an offer to the homeowner about purchasing the rental so I could avoid the selling fees by going direct to us. Yes. Okay, the homeowner said he would sell after the year lease and would be open to selling it to us before the lease ends. My goal is to get in position so I can stop throwing it. Yes, I agree with you. The area we live in has a huge amount of gentrification going on. This is good. Buckhead, which is known as the Hollywood of the South. I sent the homeowner a message and asked what price are you looking to get. Awaiting his response. We'll keep you posted. Okay, cool. Builders here. Yes. I'm reading this in my head faster than I can speak it out loud. The neighborhood. What are your thoughts and next steps? Okay. So, let me start by saying this. Most real estate investors that are renting property out to you are very savvy about getting money. Okay? When people are very savvy about getting money and you want to buy something from them, you have to be very careful not to overpay. The last thing you want to do is overpay because it's off market and because, well, you're saving on realtor fees. So you have to really be careful on the price. If you could get a good deal on it and both sides are saving on fees, I think it's a great idea. Let's look at your deal. So here it is. Okay, first things first. I'm going to jump back over here. First things first. When I open up a Zillow, and I see a massive freeway interchange within the thumbnail of the map, I get nervous. I don't like yeah but locations, right? I think I do this like every single live stream. The first thing I do is the location, and like 50% of the deals that I get, they got an interesting location. Now, there's a saving grace here that it looks like yours is a condo, so maybe it's going to be insulated from some more noise, but let's look. So, doing the usual here. You are... Oh, look, you're close to the Mexican General Consulate. That's cool. So it was over here. Oh, there it is. All right, so what do we have? Let's look at your satellite image here. Okay, so at least you've got some buildings between you, but bottom line, it's close. You're going to hear it. And I would evaluate how much of it you could hear. Now, you've got a lot of apartment communities around here, apartment and condo communities. Which maybe there's just a high amount of demand for real estate around here. And you said it's gentrifying. This is good. You're by Best Buy, Home Depot. I like that. You're close to a transit center. I like that. You're close to restaurants. I love all of this. Longhorn Steakhouse. This is great. You're right by all these apartment buildings, though. So do remember, when you go to rent this thing out in the future, your competition are these communities right here. And keep this in mind. You don't have a pool. They all got pools. They all got workout spaces or gyms. I guess that's the word for workout space, is a gym. And so remember, that's going to affect your ability to rent. So basically what that means is you have to rent out your place usually for less. So be careful when you're comping out against apartments for rental comps. Definitely a lot of construction going on. That stuff might already be built now. I mean, you got some big apartment buildings that built by the freeway. I'm just not a big fan of being super close to the freeways. Maybe it's not as bad as I think, so I'll just get off that topic. I like that you're not like right under it, like these guys. Come on, these units are getting hammered right here. Although usually in these big apartment buildings, because they have so many buildings, the units over here, they don't really experience the freeway sound as much as these guys. So maybe you're safe over here, maybe. So keep that in mind, evaluate that. So now this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2.5 bath. We don't know what the square footage is. We know it was built in 2017, which I like, because usually you could get these new construction homes at a discount when they resell within a year. Now just be careful, don't comp against new construction. Yours is no longer new construction, so you have to look for resale, which unfortunately I think finding resale is going to be a little bit more difficult. Let's see if we can find any kind of, okay, oh, look, you got a lot of stuff going on over here. See, look, they paid like $440 or something like that for it. Now you got these 2-bedroom, 2 baths selling for $390. Oh, well, that's from 2017. Let's see what else we got. Trying to find 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Here's the 2018 comp, 296 or 396. Let's see if we can ideally get some recent comps. See, nothing showing square footage, and that drives me nuts. Because here we go. This is a similar comp to yours. Here's your comp right here. Wait for it. We found it. 613 Broadview. You are a 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath. I can't figure out what your square footage is because it ain't listed. Now, what did he pay for it? Maybe he didn't pay for it. Oh, look, he only paid $391 for it. Great. I don't know if it's gone up any since that, but let's look at this one. So he paid $391. So he's going to want more than $391. But look, what is probably a model match sold in January for $399. Final opportunity, reduced $30K, end of year sale, instant equity. So another downside, that was a brand new unit when it sold. So yours is now a used unit. So now you have to look, can you realistically get the thing for $380? Probably not, because he's gonna want more money than he paid for it. And does it make sense for you to pay more than $399? I don't know. I mean, yeah, you get to save the realtor fees, so maybe you can get it for $380. But those are some considerations for you, Chaz. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's move on over to the next one. And what we're going to do now is we're going to jump on over to deal analysis escrows, which keep in mind that if you write an offer or you are in escrow on a deal, I will check out your deals first. Now, I will also respond here. Oh, wait, hold on. Chaz is replying. Yeah, of course the owner's offer was $425. See, I didn't have the chat window up. Of course, $425, dude. No. If a new construction place sells for $399, I'll give you that. What you're saying regarding the satellite and location, okay, I'll give you that. Because, you know, there are some large streets in the way. That's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay with the location now. But if a new construction place, final opportunity that probably had a bunch of builder incentives pumped into that price, and it's a similar model, yeah, 1440 square feet, it's the same model, sells for $399 January 31st. Why is yours used worth $425? So, you know, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. Let me just look at that comp again. Where was it? Where was that comp? We could go back into the history here because this is yours that sold for $391. The comp that we wanted to look at. See, here's another one. The comp we looked at was a January 28th sale or whatever, and it sold for $399. Here's another one that sold in March. So look, this is like your neighbor. Another one that sold in March for $397. And it's probably the same exact size as yours. 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath. So now all of a sudden you look at, you go, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you got to be careful with the pre-market stuff. These investors know how to make money. I see this all the time. Investors, they go in for the big pop, and you know, I'm just not a big fan of it. You know, $425, I don't see it. You got new construction stuff selling for less. You got two comps that we just looked at that were not the 613. You know, the 613 is the one that your guy bought back in the day, but you've got 619 that sold for under $400K. Why is he demanding $425? I don't know. It's smart for him because he thinks he could get a quick sale. And sure, if you agreed to the $425, why wouldn't he take it? Okay, what's this other question we got here in the chat? If a seller won't accept an offer that is a wedge and there aren't other locations here in my price range that I can wedge in price, is it okay to pay $5K above wedge if I bring roommates in to help pay? Yeah, look, so it gets to the point where, you know, look, wedging is great, but getting started in real estate is also very important. So sometimes it's okay to pay market if it means you get in and the situation is right for you and you could lock good interest rates. That is good. So let's move on to the deal analysis escrows here. Okay. Deal analysis escrows. Chaz, hopefully that helped you out. Okay, deal analysis escrow. So the next one we have, Ivan Lopez says, just a quick update on the home you went over with me a couple months ago. I was busy doing renovation, so I'm a little late, but nonetheless, I ended up closing escrow on my first rental property at 23, thanks to all the great ideas and tips. Quick question though, I recently got an email from the Redfin app telling me the value of my home actually went up 40K. So now I'm wondering what options I should consider in order to maximize my ROI. I'm leaning towards refinancing and using the extra cash to put a down payment on another home. How would I go about doing that? First of all, Ivan Lopez, congratulations. That is freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. Congrats. What am I responding in? I think I'm responding about 50 minutes in. Responding about 50 minutes in to live. If I'm not 5 minutes in, then sorry. 50 minutes. Oh well. So how do you consider? Okay. First of all, be careful with the online valuations like the Redfin email. Look, it's great. That's wonderful. It sounds excellent that you've gone up in value. I love that you bought your first rental property at 23. I would run the numbers though to see if it makes sense to do the refinance. If it went up in value to 40K, does it make sense to try to pull out, $32,000 or $30,000, whatever you can pull out of it, probably 25% down, so pull out 30 grand. Does it make sense to get that extra 30K? What would you do if you had that money? How much of a higher payment are you going to have? Are you now a negative cash flow? Analyze the numbers. I want to see you look at the numbers and go, hey, I'm going from a positive to a negative, but it's okay because I'm willing to float that negative and I could use that money to go buy this wedge deal over there. Great. If you have a setup like that, do it. But keep in mind all the variables I just mentioned there. All right, let's see. We got a Chaz. Okay, so I'm moving out. LOL, I'm going to focus my attention on a wedge deal on the west side of Atlanta, which is booming. Thanks, buddy. Anytime, my friend. Anytime. So, Mark Presley responds to Ivan's comment. I'd put zero stock in that Redfin email, but I'd look to see if there is a comp that just closed to justify the 40K increase. Very similar reaction that we both had there initially. I have to applaud Mark for taking it to the next level and saying, you know what? Open up the email. Scroll to the bottom of the email and say, hey, what comp are they using? And sometimes you look at the comp and you go, wow, that's not comparable. That's the algorithm thinking it is and it's not. Good, smart comment there about companies sending you happy news so that you don't unsubscribe. Either way, my guess is you purchased in the wedge to begin with. Awesome comment. Okay, good. Another one here. Ash says, let's screen share this so you guys can actually see this at the same time. Yes, do put an offer in today. Good for you, man. In the live chat, let's expand this over here. There we go. What are the pros and cons of buying cash and then refinance the property after you paint, install carpet, and sign a lease? This is what I'm trying to do because I have a relock. Good for you. And a HELOC. Yeah, buddy. 500K in all. Seems like the easiest way to go for me. Ash, first of all, congratulations on getting these lines of credit. Will it cost me more besides the additional appraisal? Will we get a higher percent from the lender? I think I may have wrong. Could I get it appraised for more and not have to put in as much money? We want to do this 5 times over the next 12 months. Do you see anything wrong with that? Median homes in my area are $310,000. We closed Friday on this property, 360K purchase. Appraisal came in at 383. Just got the home inspection today. Awesome. Congratulations. So let me start. Let's say Ash responding around, 53 minutes in? Today's live. Something like that. Okay, let's jump over here. Okay, first things first. The benefit of paying cash is you could usually do a quicker escrow, which, keep in mind, there's a danger to doing a quicker escrow. When you do too fast of an escrow, you don't get the luxury of getting bids from contractors and lining everybody up. It's the problem with a 7-day escrow is what contractor is available next week to start work. That's why I kind of like 30-day escrow because it's I can plan people 4 or 5 weeks out. So keep that in mind that don't go too short, but if it means getting a good deal, then go short. That's fine. You have that capability when you pay cash, that is using your lines of credit. You could just write a check for them. The other thing is, yes, you are going to have to pay more money because a cash out refinance costs you about 0.5% in interest more than a regular purchase money loan. Now, the benefit is, yes, after you do paint, carpet, and fix up, you'll be able to borrow more money back, replenish more money into your credit lines, and keep doing more. What would I do? Well, in your situation, I guess it depends. Honestly, it depends. Part of me is tempted to say I might go into a deal like this. If I find a really good wedge deal and I need to pay cash to beat out other offers, I'll write my offer cash. If I have to close in 7 days, we're doing the HELOC. We're going that way. I'm closing it. I'm securing that deal. I'm closing it. I'm done. I'll do the cash out refi later. If I get my hands on a deal where there's not a lot of competition, what I might do is this trick, and this is next level here. Watch this. You do a purchase money loan on it. You finance it up front. You take the highest interest rate you possibly can, and now you get your closing costs covered on the purchase, and you usually get to fund your prepaid interest and your prepaid taxes and your prepaid insurance accounts with all this money you get. Make sure to watch the lectures on how to get a free loan. Watch those lectures. They'll really help you here. Then I do the work. Then I'd evaluate, does it make sense to refinance, and then refinance and get the 0-point loan and pull your cash out. But that way, worst case scenario, you've secured the 30-year fixed rate financing. Worst case scenario, you've got that place locked up, say for whatever reason another deal comes up and now you want to throw your money down on that one. So it depends how aggressive you want to be. I don't think there's anything wrong with you just clunking down the cash and doing it, but I would balance that with the idea that there might be a benefit to getting that purchase money loan up front. Getting that 30-year fixed rate loan up front buys you some time in the escrow. And if you don't need to go cash, then don't go cash if you don't have to. So that's my take. Now let's look at the home inspection you got here, and then I probably need a break. So we'll screen share this. Let's do your, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a home inspection together, and then I'll answer some more of your questions in the live. How about that? Appreciate all you guys being here bright and early. So we have a 5-star home inspection from Utah. And what do we have here? Let's see what you've got. This stuff always comes up, this raised section of concrete. Really could care less about that. Of course, the plates aren't visible because there's gravel there, but oftentimes, how old is this place? Oftentimes, properties that were older, they didn't even have this stuff. So, well, that actually looks like a newer construction. So you might just want to dig away some of the gravel in that case. Yeah, this is going to be newer, which is kind of cool. 2006, yeah, okay, so it should be visible. He's right, but that's an easy fix. He is right. All right, let's see what else we have. Yeah, not a bad idea to seal this stuff. This is basic. What do we got there? Like a broken sprinkler or something like that? Is this a leak? I love the question mark. Let's see what we have for RR. Those were going to be bad things needing repair. Let's get to pictures here. What do we got? Wow. That's somebody added an outlet there. Barbecue staining. That's so common. Yeah. Damaged trim. Needs a new weather seal. What is this? Warped window trim missing. Couple of hornet's nests. Sounds like you just need to pressure wash this house. Cracked roof tile. This is so normal. Even him being up there is probably cracking more tiles. Wow, you guys got a stack of tiles up there. Yeah, you can get somebody to fix that super easily. Yeah, we see a cracked tile like this and we panic. Let me say this. This is funny. When we see a cracked tile like that, we frequently panic. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's one cracked tile. Realize that a house like this probably has 10 to 20,000 tiles. It's insane how many tiles are on these roofs. Okay, so what else do we have here? Attic. Oh, look, you got your blown insulation. You got a truss-built house. I like it. I mean, a 2006 built house, honestly, I don't expect there's going to be much wrong here. Love it. I mean, to me, this looks like a nice deal. It's got a little bit of wear and tear. That's probably how you got a wedge deal. Missing cover plate. Oh my gosh, I'm going to vomit. So, carpet. I mean, this looks pretty move-in ready here. Let's see. I want to find some like juicy damage here, but I'm not finding anything to be really critical of here. I mean, maybe the cab. I can't tell from these pictures if this is a dated color of cabinetry or if this is that newer kind of like a walnut style of cabinet. Because I don't think it's the oak style. It looks a little more walnutty, or is it maple? I don't know. And look, I'm not a wood expert, so if anybody's a carpenter, don't make fun of me. Caulking needed. This is such a good home inspection because all of this stuff is basic. The water damage there, of course. Tenant splash water all the time like that. Nice, you got the upper cabinets in the laundry room, fireplace. Look, the water heater's actually got its the pressure expansion tank and the pressure relief valve and the Schmitty pan. You got the gas meter, water shutoff boxes full of rocks. Take them out. What's your water pressure? 80, perfect. Yeah, I mean, this is easy. Do this though. This is a good idea. Have an HVAC person come out and reseal this. This is a good idea. It will increase the longevity of your property. Get a termite inspection. Yeah, good for you. I like it. I mean, just from looking at that, I like it. If you could get a wedge deal on that, newer construction, my favorite. So let's pop over to chat here. Ashley, thank you here. Thanks. Awesome. Have you heard of a broker by the name of West Coast Funding? I have not. There's so many brokers online. A6 unit. My family is looking into buying 6 condos. Is it best to convert into rental apartments or rent as condos? Well, if you're going to buy the building, it makes no difference. If you own the building, you could rent each of them out as condos. My family's looking into buying 6 condos. Is it best to convert into rental apartments or rent as condos? Buying 6 condos. Is it all one building? You know, I am a little confused by that one because honestly, if you own them, I don't see the difference between you renting them as condos or apartments. I don't think it makes a difference to the tenants. There's a different style of ownership between owning an apartment or a condo. But, if you own them and you're going to rent them all, you got me scratching my head. I'm a little confused on that one. But let's see what else we got. Deal just posted on deal analysis. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Did Ash? What are the pros and cons? Hold on. Deal analysis escrow. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it fast though, as I'm exhausted. Raleigh, North Carolina, $142,000 deal. Adorable end unit townhome with newer HVAC and carpet. Cool. Built in 1998. Well, when was the newer HVAC and carpet? Just recently? I can't believe they already replaced the HVAC, honestly. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, second bedroom. Okay, it's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Let's look at where it is map-wise. Oops. Yes, we know that it's there. By the way, I'll be in North Carolina, I believe. Is that what we said? Am I going to be in North Carolina? Hold on. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in North Carolina. Remember, if you haven't looked yet, be sure to find when I'll be in your area. And remember, it's not $2.99 for you course members. It's $1.99. When am I in? Oh, yeah, I'm in Charlotte. There you go. So that's close enough, right? Come on over. Meet me in person. Okay, let's go back to the deal. So let's see where it is. Oh, cool. You got yourself a tract home, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. Duplex style looks like. Raleigh. Cool. Oh, look, you're just outside of Charlotte. You could just drive over for the day. So you're outside the city. Let's see. It seems like, I can't say, I mean, honestly, to me, this is like hold on. I rarely say this, but if you're going to buy a house, this is like the perfect location, in my opinion. Look at this. Mid-street in a tract. Beautiful. Everybody loves the people in the middle of the neighborhood. I love it. I really do like that. I mean, I think honestly for kids, for family, this is awesome. I actually think this is really a cute setup. I mean, yeah, it's all the same, right? It's your classic kind of tract home setup, but I don't mind that. It's cool. Duplex style. I do like that. So you have this in escrow. Let's see. It's $142,000. What'd you get it for? What are some of the terms of your deal? Let's look at the pictures. So, backyard, cool. You know, get rid of this stupid coax cable. Ah, it drives me nuts how they wire that coax cable like that. You got some basics, you got the brass hardware. You could easily change that out. You could scrape these ceilings if you wanted to. You'd actually probably benefit from scraping the ceilings. Throw down some different linoleum. You don't necessarily have to refloor the whole place. But I might consider a different linoleum. You can get some cool styles these days. You got a Formica countertop. But remember, don't overspend. I mean, the place is pretty clean, pretty move-in ready here. A little dark on that bathroom. This is pretty clean. I mean, move-in ready, fiberglass setup here. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, some basic things you could do. I don't know if you're gonna live in it at first. If you are, who knows? You know, maybe you want to refloor the entire downstairs, change out the handles on the doors, call it a day for a little bit. But I like the look of it. I like the location of it, especially. Let's see if we can pull some comps. This particular deal is, I need the square footage. The square footage, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's 1083 square feet. So it's not super large, but let's look at our sold comps. Let's drop our square footage down under, let's just go under 1250 to make my job easy right now. You are, what was it, 1283, 1263, something like that. So here's a similar comp. Looks like you're pretty much paying market here. Not saying that's a bad thing, but look at that. 142, 142, 140, 134. Oh, that's a problem. Why'd that guy sell for 134 and he's got 200 more square feet? So far, these comps all reiterate what you're paying. The only bad one is why this place sold for 134 and it's 200 more square feet. Well, given that there are no pictures of the inside, we could assume that it was probably a fixer. No staging, no showings, no repairs. Move when you're ready. But look at this. Decorated with laminate floors and fireplace. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a fixer to me. That's a little bit of a problem comp. I don't know why this one sold for so low. Let's see its location. Similar location. Pretty close. Pretty similar. So, yeah, you know, keep that in mind. Check those comps, run those comps, compare that to the deal you're kind of getting. Doesn't necessarily have to be a killer deal. I'll open up the live chat here. But wanted to just give my opinion on it, of course, because what else do I do but give my opinion? You got it for 137? That's good. Okay, good. You know, the other comps were going for 142. You got it for 137. If you could get into the deal, maybe get a little bit more money back, cool. Yeah, that is cute. I agree. Yes, owner. Yes, Diaz, I don't know why there's a difference in the question you're asking. But hopefully that helps you there, Journey. I like that you got it for 137. I think that's great. If you can get another couple G's off in inspections, you know, find some stuff to complain about, I think that's great. I like it. I think it's a good deal overall. I like the location. I think it's a great way to start. It's a 1998 build. Tell me when they redid the HVAC and the carpet, and I really, like, is that a thing? Like, do the HVACs go out after 20 years in that neighborhood? I mean, maybe. It's North Carolina. You got more humidity. You put more wear and tear on these things. So maybe that's a good thing for you. I mean, that's expensive. So I am happy 3 years ago. That's good. That's good. I like that. That's another big plus right there. That that's like a free upgrade, honestly, that you're getting there. So just be careful. Don't overspend. You know, I might talk about throwing down luxury vinyl plank or something like that, or linoleum or whatever. If you're gonna move into it, honestly, just milk it for the first bit. If you want to do something yourself, change out the door handles, change out the hinges, go with a bronze, do something like that. Do a little bit of stuff here, there yourself. You want to change out some of those faucets. You know, do some handyman stuff yourself. Totally fine. Do that. Don't over-improve on this thing, though. You got a very homogenous neighborhood here. You're not going to get a lot of benefits by over-improving. Possibly in the future, scrape the ceiling. If you're going to scrape the ceiling sooner rather than later, do it before you move in. Maybe do all of the flooring. But folks, that's it. My voice is sore now. I'm done. I'm out of here. Post more questions. I love you all. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you next time.